Once a year, when the craters of the moon resemble the glistening interior of an abalone, the reflection of the onyx sky and its countless stars come to life in the waters of the Bolinao Anda Reef. As the inviting warmth of the Luzon winter melts into the exhilarating heat of spring, corals undergo a mass spawning event and newborn planula begin to drift along the currents, where they can only hope to find a place to land, a place where they can grow and flourish. I was born in Vallejo, California, but the bits of childhood I do remember take place in Liverpool, New York, a small village just outside of Syracuse. Looking back on those memories, I'm plagued once again by a familiar sense of loneliness and ostracism. From feeling out of place eating balut in a cafeteria full of PB&J sandwiches, to hearing my name mispronounced at award ceremonies, to coming home to a family where we didn't speak Pangasinan but resentment to one another, it felt near impossible to find a place or even a person to call home. Staying afloat became my primary survival skill, and like the little coral planula, I was drifting, grasping for a hold. Despite the presence of clubs like Hoi Pinoy, this feeling of exclusion only persisted in college, 300 miles away from the whirlpool of Liverpool. I feared that only humiliation and rejection could ensue for my lack of cultural awareness, and my self-isolation became intentional, my anxiety like a violent wave pulling me away. It was only during the fall 2023 semester, after losing my 2 long-term best friends, that my involvement with the Filipino community on campus and in Boston began. There, I found my solid substrate, a place to land, but I was still testing the waters. I played off my quietness as personality, and while it was true for the most part, I still couldn't help but question the validity of my own membership. Less than a month later, I read about Kapwa on my Instagram Explore page and continued diving into Psikolohiyang Pilipino. Not only that, but my expeditions into the works of Thich Nhat Hanh and the principles of Zen Buddhism only emphasized the recognition of the self in others, and others in the self. I started to fully grasp that, like coral, which relies on mutualistic symbiosis with zooxanthellae, my hope to survive and thrive would never be realized if I continued pushing everyone away. After excavating my parasitic fear, I was able to recognize Kapwa in the people around me. In Hoi Pinoy, in our BVS team, in our band Ang Huling Minuto, and I opened up to people that became more than just club members, but a true family to me. And I was ready to build a home. Coralite began blooming like underwater salingogon trees, and I watched as the grays of the world blossomed into countless yellows, reds, and blues. The loneliness of the aimless current resides far away, and I can now embrace swimmers by and the coral forest that surrounds me, because I am no longer alone or afraid. Because if I were to become lost again, I know that Kapwa is everywhere.